which is all of that, gets all over. It's like an out dangerous side which if anything makes it easier. So, we are the team. We can be beaten. That's easy, see. At the end of the season, you know the reason why we are the Premiership team. Up the Jazz. And then half time on the now I can't remember to put my phone on silent.
EPIL QFAW Division 2 Central Grand Final, starting with the Gravatt Vultures. Number 1, Aileen Latran. Number 2, Rose Collins. Number 3, Ruby Mann. Number 4, Lily Carmody. Number 8, Caitlin Renner. Number 10, Gabby Doyle. Number 11, Cassandra Heiner. Number 12, Francesca Irvin. Number 13, Olivia Nason. Number 14, Janae Vidler. Number 15, Tiana Limparakis. Number 16, Ruby Dry. Number 18, Naomi Leach. Number 19, Georgia Carmody. Number 20, Jordan War. Number 21, Megan Turnbull. Number 23, Ashley Condon. Number 24, Romany Ewington. Number 25, Amelia Brown. 28, Shay Gordon. 31, Nina Regal. And their opponents, the Jindalee Jags. Number 1, Kat Bennett. Number 2, Gemma Higgins. Number 4, Hannah Wheelhouse. Number 5, Caitlin Pontoise. Number 7, Alexis Hamilton. Number 8, Brody Kemp. Number 9, Heidi Dewberry. Number 11, Olivia Meager. Number 13, Jen Ryan. Number 15, Hayley Robinson. Number 17, Sienna Holland. Number 18, Riley Bloor. Number 19, Talia Butcher. Number 20, Dana Sides. Number 22, Evie Witt. Number 25, Tay Eve. Number 28, Ainsley Carroll. Number 29, Annalise Crabb. Number 30, Gemma Sullivan. Number 33, Aaliyah Harding. And number 77, Indiana Holdsworth.
She had a run, so it's Doyle, not Doyle. She just misread that. And number 11 from after that, it's Quinn. Number 12 prefers Frankie to Francesca. Yeah. Gravatt, she jobs. It's mostly, as long as you read Ewington correctly, I think we said that. She just became the first member to play 800 games this year, so it's an achievement. What a take that. Annalisa Crowd, I think you mean that Annalisa, I just call her. Yeah, the few Jindalee places, but the long time Jindalee, we spent a couple of years with you. Sounds like wrong. Oh, the master. That's handy. No, that's perfect. In fact, that's what I'll use it to. Do you have it at like 11 o'clock when it's on? So, 12. As in, think of them as a clock face. So, 11:30. 11:24? There we go, right. Thanks, Kelsey. Oh, darn. They put it there because the track was hit, so...
This is a really great question. How went up for time to...
So, probably about 12 seconds, maybe 10, and Gravatt about 10 minutes off. Plan A, and we can adapt this, is we will talk up until the presentation, and then once the presentation's happened, I can do this take like 30
I'm actually
seconds.
emceeing the preso, so you can close out by yourself.
That makes things significantly easier. Plan A is I'll talk up to the preso, and we'll talk about what's happened during the game, and the rest of it. And then after the presentation, I will round up in like 30 to 60 seconds. How's that sound to you?
Yeah, I'm going right now.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 2025 TPIL QFAW Division 2 Central Grand Final between Jindalee and Gravatt. On behalf of AFL Queensland, we acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land we play on today, the Turrbal and Yagara peoples, and recognise their continuing connection to land, waters and resources. We pay our respects to their elders, past and present, and extend our acknowledgement to all First Nations people joining us today. I'd now like to invite everyone who is able to join our players and umpires in being upstanding for the Australian National Anthem.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth foretold, our home is God by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts, all beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage unbox Australia fair. With joyful strains that let us sing, unbox Australia fair.
And we can confirm that the last word of the Australian National Anthem is fair. Good morning and welcome to Hickey Park in Stafford, regularly the home of the Wilston Grange Gorillas in the TPIL Lawyers Quaffle and the Bond University Quaffle W. Today it is the host venue for the TPIL Lawyers QFAW Division 2 Central Grand Final. The Jindalee Jags in their familiar blue and yellow, Mount Gravatt in the North Melbourne stripes. My name is Daniel Viles. Great pleasure to be with you. And with me from AFL Queensland Competition Manager, Mr. Mitch Simpson. Mitch, good morning. And given that you're an AFLQ heavy, thank you for what you put on today.
No, thank you. And welcome to everyone listening wherever you might be tuning in from. It's a beautiful day here at Wilston Grange today. It's always a picturesque venue, one of the better grounds to watch footy from. So it's a fitting venue for today's grand final this morning, and obviously our Division 1 Hardsport Cup men's seniors and reserves finals, and then our all-important TPIL Lawyers QFAW Division 1 game later this evening as well. But the stage is set. Daniel, I think we've got, perfect cinema for grand final day. We've got the two best sides all season. The undefeated Mount Gravatt, who ironically were defeated in week 1 of finals to this Jindalee side, and they've had to go the hard way through to the grand final. And obviously Jindalee now, earn the rights as the top side come into today. However, it's anyone's guess.
Some beautiful narratives running through this game. I mean, firstly, you've picked it absolutely correctly with the Mount Gravatt only lost one game this season, but it happened to be a qualifying final, which is not really the start you wanted. Lost they had to have, who knows? Jindalee have already won 2 grand finals in their women's history. Mount Gravatt, no women's side has ever won a premiership in the blue and white. Today, history for them, but the good thing about today is both sides have the right to go into this game confident.
Yeah, absolutely correct. And look, as I said, there's really been nothing between them all year. And like, I'm just excited as a footy fan today. The crowd have certainly, shown their interest in this game with their feet. The amount of people that are in already. 10 o'clock game, a little bit unusual. We've obviously slid forward a little bit today, given the Q clash later this evening at the Gabba. But it is slightly unfamiliar territory playing in the morning time slot as opposed to the sort of evening. But it's an absolute belter here today, and we're ready for the first bounce.
Temperature in the low 20s. It's a big day for the Jindalee Jags. It's a big day for Mount Gravatt. The TPIL Lawyers QFAW Division 2 Central Grand Final underway. Rose Collins gets the first inside 50, belts it forward, goes through a few pairs of legs. He's been able to clean up at the back from Evie Witts, one of the co-captains for Jindalee, not really clearing 50. It's a second attempt, possibly an ankle tap. Umpires called that correctly. Free kick to Jindalee getting out of 50.
It's always interesting the first couple of moments of a grand final, isn't it? The nerves are a little bit unsettling to start with. There's always a little bit of anxiousness across the group, so it'd be interesting to see who can just be a little bit composed in these first couple of minutes. So sides goes long now up to the wing. Ball gets spoiled out and cleaned up there by Drewbury, it looks like. So Skyward ball might go out in the full. It has. So Mount Gravatt will have their second opportunity inside the first minute to send this one inside forward 50.
Looking centrally, Mount Gravatt. In the general direction, I was going to say of Vidler, but it went over her head. They're back inside 50 again. Almost cleaned up at the back. Not quite able to do so was Kemp. Spilling in front of 50. Just needs some clean hands and they're not forthcoming. Grand final nerves, perhaps? Sides will make them pay. She clears 50. Turnover in dispute, back inside 50. Mount Gravatt with the first 3. Sides getting a lot of touches early, not able to quite clean that one up. Jenna Higgins has her hands around the ball, knocked inside. Didn't get towards Collins. The shot comes in. Well off target, but Mount Gravatt opened the scoring, and they're looking the better early. In fact, out on the full, apologies.
So it's close and contested early. Plenty of numbers getting to the feet of this, and as I said before, the anxiousness early can make everyone just a little bit fumbly. So Mount Gravatt managed to turn this one over, and it might just trickle out of bounds. So we'll have another ball up, but territory all the way the Vultures at the moment.
Jindalee obviously recognised that Collins is the danger, so Sides has gone straight to her, and she's been the most active defender so far. Key matchup throughout the day, who knows? Yeah. Jordan Waugh in the ruck contest. Loose ball inside 50. That's an excellent handball out wide. Just not able to get... The shot comes in, though. It's spilled from Vidler to Ruby Dry. Just the minor. Touched on the way through. But Ruby Dry has the first score of the match. It's Mount Gravatt 1. Leading Jindalee 0.
So not a lot of movement from the Jags here, so Sides just has to go long out to the flank. It might be turned straight over and head straight back here. There's a 4-on-1 now over in the pocket, so Jindalee should win out with a weight of numbers here as Ryan sends it up. So it's a bit of a foot race now, but it's all Jindalee up ahead of the footy. She's got players out if she can get there. Looks like Robinson up the wing and Renner now. So Robinson and Renner in a foot race as they could just get pushed off the ball. Clever bit of work by Robinson to keep that ball surging forward. They've made about 15 or 20 metres now, Jindalee, just by keeping this ball rolling as they head in for their first forward 50 entry of the afternoon. And great mark overhead there, running back with the flight of the footy. Outstanding bit of work there. Looks like wheelhouse. And just a clever bit of work for Jindalee to keep that ball live and just keep it rolling. And as we know often in these sorts of games, just the weight of numbers and territory that you can keep will go a long way. So waste no time here, Wheelhouse, as she rolls in from point blank range. Looks pretty good off the boot. And Jindalee have the first major of the morning through Hannah Wheelhouse. So after all the first 4 minutes or so of this game has been played, just about in Mount Gravatt's forward 50, Jindalee rebound once and go inside for 1 goal.
sometimes you can use the space behind the defence if the opposition's pushed up. And in Division 2 Central, we don't see a lot of high presses, simply because that's something that takes a few more nights of training a week. But, I mean, Caitlin Renner, an experienced defender, one handling error, they pounced on it.
Yeah, Robinson, one of the absolute keys and guns for this Jindalee outfit, and certainly a key up the wing for that goal. So we're back underway. Mount Gravatt get the clearance, so they waste no time trying to head back forward, but a little fumble error puts the teammate under pressure, and I suspect this will be another ball up.
So Ashlyn Latran in the number 1 jersey for Mount Gravatt, known as AC, I'm told. But a powerhouse in midfield. Jindalee haven't got many clearances so far today, but they had one there. Just went underneath Alia Harding, turned over in the middle of the park to Nina Rigger. They find a way through. And that just seemed to roll through to Ruby Mann. She gets it forward. The mark is taken about 40 out. And Olivia Nason, 25 goals this year, plays on quickly. She's offline. Hindsight's a wonderful thing. Should she have settled?
Yeah, Nason's certainly one to watch from me today. Just playing on that high sort of half-forward flank, been potent in front of goal this year with 25, I think, for the year to date. So, again, maybe just a little bit of nerves there, trying to rush things a little bit. Probably had a little bit more time, but it's good to see her getting her hands on the ball early anyway.
Jindalee will bring it out. They've got the lead, but they're certainly not winning the inside 50s or the territory. Good backup play meant that there were options for the handball. Just went out of the way of Olivia Marr. No, not that one. Her namesake was a grand final winner for Southport last week. And if this Liv Marr can have half a good as game as that, she'll probably win best on ground. Kate Lepontoir in the ruck rather for Jindalee, goes through to Latran. She has to retreat to advance, was under a lot of pressure, and it's no disgrace that she conceded the free because she wasn't really giving any options. Good defence from Jindalee.
So Mount Gravatt have had a little bit more time to set up behind the footy here. One-on-one's all up the ground now, but they just managed to sneak one out the back here. So Drewbury's with the footy. Just in no real rush, Jindalee. So they've certainly settled into this game after they've kicked the first goal. There's a big contest there. Good work by Latran and Bennett going at that footy. But Jindalee managed to clear this one through a dangerous part of the ground in that corridor. So a little bit of fumbling at the moment. Might have been pulled off that one. The umpire certainly sees it that way. So that'll go the way of Mount Gravatt.
Good time to introduce the umpires, actually. I'm always sponsored by and supported by Bradnam's Windows and Doors. I'll just get back to those in a moment. There's a beautiful work through the middle. Finds the hands of Ruby Mann. Umpires are on hold. Touched on the way through, so Mount Gravatt had to play on. Side springs it back, was able to get some space between her and Ruby Dry, the former Cooperoo King. Beautiful run out of defence from Riley Bloor, the other co-captain. Spent a bit of time with UQ in the QFAW. Just goes over the head out of reach of Lexi Hamilton, but they've gone forward. The shot from the pocket, not goal-bound. Excellent defence from Romany Ewington, vice-captain and 100 gamer for Mount Gravatt. There'll be a ball up quickly. Bruce Cruikshank and Lincoln McAllister in the field. Rosie Pedley and Eliza Costello on the boundary, and George Rodas and Amber Taylor in goal.
Interesting again. That's pretty much how Jindalee got their first goal. That quick clearance work. There's a quick snap off the ground there. I thought that might have gotten through, but Hamilton pushes that one to the right-hand side. But again, just those couple of players out the back, they've sort of shown they can go in two modes at the moment, Jindalee. They're very happy to either just stop, prop, control possession and tempo a little bit, or if the numbers are with them, get out the back and run. And we've saw on that occasion they can move this ball very quickly, and dangerous signs early, but it's going to come through the moment back through the corridor. So Mount Gravatt on the charge now, but Jindalee are well set up here. But again, that bounce over the back sees the ball end up charging inside forward 50, so it's a one-on-one deep now. How's this going to bounce? It's a foot race into the... In fact, the umpire's picked up a little push. It's going to go the way of Mount Gravatt, so it's a win there. So Amelia Brown's got the ball probably a little bit too far out to score for her. She rushes it again. Just a little bit unsettled. Mount Gravatt have got all the territory at the moment, but they just continue to rush their entries a little bit. So the mark's been taken, and Rigor takes off. So Rigor over now. Puts it onto the boot. Man goes long, right to the goal square. Might be holding the ball, it is. So Sides gets wrapped up in a brilliant tackle from Amelia Brown. And Mount Gravatt might finally have an opportunity for the settler that they're so desperately looking for.
Leading goal kicker in the comp, Amelia Brown. You wouldn't want it in better hands if you're a Vultures fan. Amelia Brown has the first goal for the Vultures, gives them a 1-point lead. And you'd probably say that scoreline now better reflects the flow of the match, but of course, footy doesn't work like that, Mitch Simpson.
No, and as we know, sometimes on grand final day, just taking your moments is all you need to do. Everything can go right for you, but if you don't take the big ones when you have them in front of you, then it can unwind your day. But I think that's the absolute settler. They've had all the territory, all the possession down that end of the oval. And as you said, the leading goal kicker, you'd want the ball in no one else's hands other than Amelia's.
Let's go back and praise Nina Rigger, because she was the one who got that repeat entry, or was just inside the 50, but won the turnover, made sure the opportunity wasn't squandered.
Correct, so we're back underway. Looks like Jindalee might get this clearance now. So Drewbury goes forward and it ends up in the hands of Blore. So Blore goes long. Heading out wide now, so Hamilton comes back inside. Clever little bit of work to centre this footy. Well, Renner might steal it. She doesn't. So it goes through her hands as players converge on this one now. Strong bit of work there by Mount Gravatt defence. So War's got the footy. She kicks it long. And again, we've seen here players turned around and the ball's out the backside now. So it's a foot race again. Sides is going to be probably first one to this footy, but it's being hunted by Dry. And again, that rush kick. So Mount Gravatt's forward line are defending quite well, putting plenty of pressure on at the moment as players converge on this footy. Just trying to just will it forward at the moment, Jindalee, and it might come off for them here. So numbers forward of the footy now as Drewbury goes inside the corridor. Dangerous spot if Jindalee can hold possession, but there's Mount Gravatt numbers all at the drop of this footy. And if they manage to stable here, they might well head back the other direction. Daniel.
Frankie Irwin in the number 12 from Mount Gravatt had the ball in the middle of the park. Good semi-charge down off the boot of Lily Carmody. Jindalee able to move it forward, but Caitlin Renner had a time to write a book while she was under that. She'll move it wide. Some of the calmest play we've seen. Still moving it wide. Went centrally, and that ball was attacked from a long way out. I believe that was from Brown. It was the goal scorer. Not the best kick of the ball. Through the hands of Taylor Eade. That gives them another opportunity. The handball is back in towards the centre. Georgia Carmody ex Yeronga sweating on the ball. Just through wonderful pick up from Shea Gordon. Down at the toes. Working in from the left pocket, out on the full. Enterprising play from Mount Gravatt just very quickly. Number 17 for Jindalee, Sienna Holland, who was on the ball back on the left wing before. You may notice the Jindalee players wearing black armbands. Her grandmother died during the week, and so the Jindalee club's showing support to Sienna Holland.
Yeah, lovely touch. So Jindalee looks to get out of there, deep back pocket with Sides as it goes up to a contest, spoiled out of bounds, and we'll have another ball up. So again, Mount Gravatt just able to retain possession as we tick through towards the 13-minute mark. Quarters for finals, 13 minutes plus time on. A couple of goals kicked, so we'll probably get in and around that 15-minute mark for the first term. You'd probably think Mount Gravatt would want to have at least one more on the board if they're to take away any ascendancy out of this first quarter. And they might have an opportunity here. So loose footy, dangerous spot. But in that pocket, it's always going to be tough to score from there as the kick comes centrally. Brown now chases this footy. She's just being corralled, but can she take possession? She can't. So the ball comes out now and Jindalee look to rebound and just kicks for turf. She might have been dumped after the footy. Umpire says in the play, so play on. As a foot race now descends. How's it going to land? Great bit of bodywork there. Excellent shepherd by Olivia Nason. Just showing a clever bit of craft. But the Jindalee players in numbers come at this footy. And a great tackle by Limperakis. Earns herself a free kick and 50 metres.
Yeah, the ball not returned. Hayley Robinson, just to correct you, number 15 for the other side. That's you've just made a Daniel Vales error, that one. So that's been there, done that. But Hayley Robinson, first of all, brilliant to the tackle. Secondly, didn't she bring the crowd into the match?
Yeah, and that's what you need. You need. There is a very healthy crowd here. As we look up the wing at Hickey Park, there are hundreds of people in for this game early, so a great show of support for these two clubs.
One of the good advantages of having several clubs in action on grand final day. Excellent work from Aaliyah Harding on the left wing. The contest, they are going to win the ball back, Jindalee. The tackling is strong from Megan Turnbull. Just a ball up. There was no prior opportunity on Indiana Holdsworth. For Indiana Holdsworth.
But as you say, that tackle just starting to bring the crowd in a little bit as they begin to rise. Strong tackle there.
I still think 3 years ago we had a sponsor and we had a Tackle of the Week competition in the, well, not competition, award in the Bond University QFAW. Rose Collins, who's laid some big ones in combination with Tori Groves Little, dropped by Carmody, but not inside advantageously towards Brown. Jindalee had numbers to the ball. Good work getting ahead over the ball from Brodie Kemp. Brown goes for the fake punch. But yes, we've never had Goal of the Week or Mark of the Week, but we had Tackle of the Week. And isn't that just so emblematic of women's footy in Queensland? It's been a tackle-based culture growing the game.
Yep, the ferocious attack on the footy. Big open decks, plenty of speed in Queensland as well, so it's certainly a bit of a trademark of the women's game up here in the Sunshine State that, you know, I'll be biased in saying is the best in the country in terms of producing women's talent. And again, we're talking about Div 2 level here, and the talent on display today is absolutely outstanding. So
no argument from me, Mitch.
It's good to see. Absolutely. So the 15-minute mark ticks through. Can't be long left in this first quarter, as Mount Gravatt might have one last chance to score here, and they are out the back. So just spill the ball. The siren's going to go in the background, so that will be no score, I believe. And Mount Gravatt probably just needed that one.
Jindalee 1-1-7. Their goal to Hannah Wheelhouse in the 4th minute of the quarter. It was, it was Brown, Amelia Brown, who took the lead from Mount Gravatt in the 10th minute. Jindalee will probably be happy that they had less possession, but were able to be only 1 point behind at quarter time. This is.
You need a strong team. At TPIL Lawyers, we rise above the pack. When it comes to your total and permanent disability and compensation claims, choose TPIL, the Personal Injury Lawyers. Kicking goals for Queenslanders since 1983. TPIL Lawyers, proud partner of AFL Queensland.
AFL Nines, it's footy for best mates looking to be teammates. Cardio fiends after a bit of competition.
Legends of the game, looking at making a comeback.
There's footy for when your week's pretty cooked. Or for fitting it in between classes.
It's footy!
It's footy.
It's footy.
It's footy for me.
Mount Gravatt lead by 1 in the 2025 TPIL Lawyers QFAW Division 2 Central Grand Final. There's got to be a quicker way of saying that. I'm going to find it by the end of the day. My name's Daniel Viles. With me is Mitch Simpson. Only 1 point difference. Mount Gravatt with the stats, but Grand Final day, yeah.
Yeah, and I think I said in the top of the broadcast that there's nothing between these sides, and I think we've certainly shown that, or these two have shown that in the first term. We've got a side like Jindalee who's had 2 or 3 inside 50 entries for the entire quarter, and they've kicked 117, and Mount Gravatt who had, you know, the other 13 minutes the footy was basically in their forward 50, and they only come out with 128. So I'd suspect Jindalee would probably be wrapped with the scoreline, and Mount Gravatt would probably. Obviously, we're a long way from the coach's box, but the messaging would be, let's just be a little bit more composed in our forward 50 entries as we get back underway. So the ball's tapped down, and Mount Gravatt look like they might get the first clearance of the quarter. So Collins with the footy, she hand passes out, finds Leach, the captain. So Leach sends it skyward. There's the numbers down to the footy now, so the ball's recovered. Leach, I think, gets her own footy there and sends it forward. So a chance here for Mount Gravatt as they head straight back inside forward 50, something they've done for most of the game so far. The challenge now will be, can they put some runs on the board as that ball looks like it just trickles out of bounds, and the ball up in the forward pocket, and Mount Gravatt have an opportunity to hit the scoreboard early.
There's pretty much no wind here today. There were winds predicted of, you know, around 14, 15 k's an hour. I can't feel them, and they're certainly not affecting the match. Lepontois working hard against Brown, hits the deck. And of course we have to remember, and I'll pivot from this in a moment, no boundary throw-ins for a lot of the inside 50s, for reasons I'll get to in a moment. It's always a ball up 10 metres in, as the tackle was just away from the contest, so Collins is pinged. But yes, often there are no boundary umpires at this level, so inside 50 they will ball up 10 metres out. Brilliant work. And that's from Nina Rigger, who's made a number of turnovers. So if you're interested in umpiring, go to umpire.afl, because you are needed to maintain the quality of women's footy in Queensland. It goes back to Latran. Goes deep inside 50. That's a good overhead mark from Brown. And you'd back her in with a set shot, Mitch.
She's gone back very quickly, pushed off the mark and given some space. Now she's just taking a breather. I thought she might have rushed it. There was a couple where she turned and went a bit too quickly, I think, in the first quarter. But she's got one under her belt and settling now. She'll kick from about 35, so might just be on her range. Struck it pretty well. Will it get over the heads? It doesn't, so it's touched right on the line for a behind.
Some decent elevation there. I'm pretty sure it was Dana Sides at the back who... We don't see enough speckies in the goal square to save goals. Rush Behind of the Year is an award we need, Mr. AFLQ.
Well, we'll give that to the powers to be to discuss in the off-season. So, Butchers with a footy deep in the back pocket now. Just composed footy, but it's been spilt, so the Tran has got it. She goes forward, heads to that pocket again. So we've got a good look at goal here from the commentary box, if someone can pick this one up. But Jindalee just rebound this again. But the ball sits in dispute. There's plenty of stripes at the drop of that footy, and they lock things up. Probably for the first time we've really seen the footy on this wing all morning.
Yeah, it haven't been nice to us, but Riley Bloor, the co-captain, was very brave just to attack the football, knowing who was coming. Collins read that best. Got a big bump from Heidi Dewberry. Well knocked inside. The kick forward comes from Frankie Irwin. Knocked back outside the 50. Naomi Leach was onto it, couldn't hold on. A lot of these women will play games at 4:45. It's a treat to play at 10 a.m. Knocked forward again by Leach, who's been very active. It's got a bit of a roll on. The goalkeeping has been successful, but even then the charge down coming through from Ruby Dry was fierce. The clearance is central, so it's easily able to be turned out. Leach took the maximum amount of time she had. That is beautiful work from Brown. And I think any mystery about why she's leading goal kicker has evaporated.
And just as you were suggesting there that Leach is beginning to getting busy, I was just putting an asterisk next to her name. The captain has certainly risen. She's been very active throughout the first part of this second quarter. Couple of inside 50 entries, couple of clearances, and Brown now just probably stubs the toe a little bit on that one, but the ball stays in play, so really dangerous here if you're Jindalee. Clean possession needed. Ball's knocked straight out of the tackle, so the umpire says play on. It's picked up again, might be touched off the boot. Regardless, it's off to the right and another behind.
That was from Nason. But I think you're right, Leach, pretty much any clearances that go to Mount Gravatt's right half forward, Leach is turning them around, and anything on the left, Nina Rigger's turning them around. So their ability to lock it inside 50 is largely through those two.
Yeah, and look, they've been two to watch all year, I think. Olivia Nation as well. She's got a couple of behinds, probably looking for her to just get a bit of a settler as well. Certainly dangerous across that half-forward flank. So the more I think Mount Gravatt can continue to get their hands, the ball in the hands of those players. So just dived on the footy there. Umpire says making no real attempt to get that one out. So Jindalee have earned a free kick and managed to get out of trouble, but only as far as centre wing as they turn this one over. So there we are again. Leach with the footy. She spills it, goes again, gets her own ball. So she's doing absolutely everything in that Vultures engine room at the moment. As the umpire says, that'll be a ball up. In fact, they've picked up a little free kick. So Jindalee just get a little get out of jail free card once again here as it gets bombed long up the ground. So Jindalee with their first opportunity of the quarter to head forward of halfway, but it's wrapped up largely on centre wing.
It was Renner with the tackle. War in the ruck. Knocked it back. It was well read off the hands by Shea Gordon. Able to knock it up the right wing. Butcher ran onto it well, but was wrapped up fairly rapidly. Gordon nearly thrown away. Jindalee find a way through. Back to Lepontois. Gets it inside 50. This is where they've been dangerous, and there's been a bit of space behind the defence. Was the player held back? It may not matter. Holding her feet well was Lexi Hamilton. And largely through her body work, they've now got a big opportunity inside 50.
Yeah, lucky to get away with that. I think Mount Gravatt, one of the key things you try and teach your defenders early is keep your feet, and just going off the feet there, but Mount Gravatt managed to just secure a ball up. So with numbers around the footy now, they've got a couple on the outside here, so they should be able to clear this one away. Although great bit of defensive work there from Hamilton, lays the tackle. But again, Mount Gravatt just being able to control the tempo through the centre, or through the clearances, I should say. But Drewby's got the footy, moves it on quickly, and a bit of pressure on that kick sees that one out over the boundary line, and we'll have another ball up.
That one missed, but I've just made a little note that Dewberry has a long boot. We know that Georgia Carmody has one. Her clearances for Yeronga were a thing of beauty over the last couple of years. She definitely knows how to roost it. Apparently, so does Heidi Dewberry. Doesn't get on the score sheet a lot, just the once this year, Dewberry.
Yeah, she's certainly been one of the key movers for Jindalee, one of the more consistent through that midfield sort of half-forward line. So what's the umpire played there? A little free kick, just a little bit too overzealous with the contact there, and there'll be a free kick paid for holding the player. So she's going to probably have this one from about 47, 48 out. So she'll be looking for a teammate. A little bit of movement here if she wants to go to the pocket. Elects just to bomb long to the hot spot. So a good spot, but it's all Mount Gravatt back there, and it's well marked, I think, by Jordan Ward, the ruck getting back.
Correct.
So a long raking boot, a great kick, and a solid mark there by Carmody. So Mount Gravatt move this quick, and they've got numbers through the corridor. It's fumbled, but they've got numbers. Kennan, they've got time, but no, they haven't. So they've turned it over, and Jindalee send this straight back into the attack. And a great mark by Hamilton.
Read that very early, came charging across the contest.
I think she might have taken that running flight back with the flight of the footy in the mark in that first quarter as well. So certainly showing no signs of fear when wanting that ball. So Hamilton just drifts off to the right and pops this one up to the top of the square. Mount Gravatt with plenty of numbers around this footy again. So just trying to lock this one down. They elect to not rush the behind and play on. So dangerous option. But in a scoreline like this, saving every point might be critical in about an hour's time. So Mount Gravatt just try and work this one up the ground. A little bit of a kick along the ground to work it up out of back 50, but it gets turned over again. As the pressure continues to mount in this game, there are numbers everywhere. As Drewby looks to pick this footy up, she does. So consolidates the ball, strong tackle there. Bennett spills that one. And it's a hot couple of minutes of footy, so the umpire finally pays a throw.
Yeah, I must confess, from my angle, I thought the previous one was a throw and that one wasn't. But I'm slightly farther away than the umpire. They elect to play across field. That was Talia Butcher. Goes towards the pocket. Good charge down. And Mount Gravatt find a way out through Gordon. Gordon will clear 50. Goes to the middle of the park. The bodywork not quite working. The handling is frustrating the Mount Gravatt bench because they're doing a lot right. as Carmody comes across the plate, goes to the big don't argue, and there was still a bit of an argument. Didn't quite work. Harding did well to get over the defender. Back towards 50, not the best bounce for the Mount Gravatt wingers coming through. And that brought down Wheelhouse, wins the free kick. Probably the best, most technically brilliant tackle we've seen so far today.
Yeah, absolute perfect tackle. That's gotten the Jindalee crowd up and about right in front of the main hill here. As I look around the corner, the crowd continues to build, so it's an absolute electric atmosphere at Hickey Park, and these two sides are putting on an absolute belter, as we certainly expected from both of them. So the tackling pressure continues to ramp up here, as both sides just looking a little bit tight. If anything, a few players starting to walk now as we head towards the back end of the second quarter. I think both sides will probably be looking just to get into half-time now, so we'll see what can come of the next few minutes. Who can break this game apart, or will we remain largely deadlocked? There's a great bit of work. Carmody, I'll tell you what, Carmody has had an absolute blinder of a couple of moments here. She is putting pressure on and lifted this pressure gauge by just a couple of notches, but Jindalee again send this one forward, so they've got numbers as the footy, and
Riley Bloor
it was, sends it forward. So, and again another rebound 50. So this ball is ping-ponging around. It's only in about a 40 metre area here, just back and forth. So the Mount Gravatt faithful just a little bit unhappy with that free kick.
Yeah, the punch clearly hit the shoulder, but I mean, it was a legitimate punch that went slightly awry, so I don't think anyone's really made a mistake there, but sides.
Yeah, looks to have just hurt her ankle coming down on that one.
I think every ground in this time of the year is a little bit uneven underfoot, so sides, very long kick inside, 50, the mark is superb! In the middle of the pack, had to time the jump perfectly, and Jindalee's going to be rewarded. And one thing we haven't said openly is Lexi Hamilton, who's proving to be, well, the number one marker in this match. This is Jindalee's most sustained period of possession and forward 50 pressure. Lexi Hamilton will kick this from about 40. Goes around to the right to improve the angle. Unlikely to have the distance, and well marked by Jordan Waugh, who's playing ruck and fullback at the same time.
Yeah, strong bit of work there. The pressure looks like it was Nason again out on that far side. She's really lifted and certainly right back in defence. Usually we see her up the ground at half forward. So the entire, we talked about the press earlier in the game, Daniel. The entire 32 players at the moment are in this defensive half. So there is a real big push here from Mount Gravatt up the ground. So if we can get some ball over the back here, there might be a bit of excitement as Mount Gravatt look to trot down the oval, but the ball rolls out of bounds directly in front of the scoreboard, and the lasso rule in play. We'll see Jindalee send this one back into their half.
Mount Gravatt lead by 3. It's been a goalless second term, but that doesn't mean lack of quality or excitement. And but for a few handling errors, we may have seen 3 or 4 goals, both with sustained forward pressure and with a counter-attack. Jindalee with another one, well read by Cassandra Huyn. Has come back from an ACL injury and is now playing in a grand final. Mount Gravatt's first in a very long time, and then pulls out a beautiful pass straight to Ruby Dry in the middle of Hickey Park. Still going route 1. Why not when your contested marks are working? Rose Collins was under pressure. Maybe just got a bit of an ankle tap. Was able to handball it inside 50. Play allowed to continue. Brown handballs to Condon. Condon shoots her about 40. Condon!
Ashley Condon kicks Mount Gravatt's second of the morning. And it's been, without using a cliche, it's been a half a footy in 2 halves of itself. We've seen Jindalee with all the possession down this right-hand side of the oval. Mount Gravatt with limited opportunity for some time now. A couple of kicks, they get the loose spare out the back, and they, 2-on-1 run into an open goal there. So I'm not sure if there is much of a breeze, but there certainly seems to be a fair bit of favour to that right-hand side of the oval. So I think any goals to our left, up the Tangalooma Island Resort end of the oval, are worth gold at the moment. So
I just call it the Stafford Road end. That's much better. That's so much better, Mitch Simpson.
Looking after the Mighty Gorillas sponsors, of course, sponsorship and volunteers, the lifeblood of community footy right around the country. So we'll give them a little shout where we can. as Mount Gravatt look to go on the charge here again as we tick through 14 minutes. Won't be long left in this term. Probably looking at around another 15-minute quarter with time on. So Mount Gravatt, they probably rued the opportunity to kick one in the dying stages of the first, and they have an opportunity to go 2 in 2 minutes here. But the siren beats them, and that is half-time.
Enterprising half of football. The only goal of the quarter being to a 50-gamer for Mount Gravatt, Ashley Condon, only a couple of minutes ago. Jindalee kept scoreless. Frustrating, but good signs for them for the second half. It's Mount Gravatt by 9 in the 2025 TPIL Lawyers QFAW Division 2 Central Grand Final.
Trailing Mount Gravatt Vultures 2 goals 4 to 16. AFL 9 is for the team players, the sideline banter, staying socially fit as well as physically fit. For those
You need a strong team. At TPIL Lawyers, we rise above the pack. When it comes to your total and permanent disability and compensation claims, choose TPIL, the personal injury lawyers. Kicking goals for Queenslanders since 1983. TPIL Lawyers, proud partner of AFL Queensland.
AFL 9s, it's footy for best mates looking to be teammates.
Cardio fiends after a bit of competition.
Legends of the game. Looking at making a comeback.
There's footy for when your week's pretty cooked. Or for fitting it in between classes.
Ha! It's footy!
It's footy.
It's footy.
It's footy for me.
Hickey Park in Stafford on the north side of Brisbane. It's an east-west facing ground. You're looking from the northern side of Hickey Park, which can cause a few problems in the late afternoon, although there is some good coverage at either end. But I can report here two things. One is that most of the music played during the halftime break is older than all of the players on the ground. And secondly, that the Mount Gravatt Vultures are leading the Jindalee Jags by 9 points, 2-4-16 to 1-1-7. Mount Gravatt's goals to Amelia Brown and to Ashley Condon, and Hannah Wheelhouse scored the first goal of the match for Jindalee way back in the 4th minute. Mount Gravatt were the undefeated minor premiers. These two teams met a fortnight ago in the qualifying final, and Jindalee inflicted Mount Gravatt's first loss of the year. Jindalee's women have won 2 premierships in the past. No Mount Gravatt women's side has ever won a premiership. Just so you know where to send the complaints, my name is Daniel Viles. With me is Mitch Simpson. It's an low-scoring but enthralling game, Mitch.
Yes, it's been a real pressure game. We've seen, a number of players from both sides really lift in late, particularly late in that second quarter. The tackle game's gone up significantly, and look, I think as a footy fan, we've got two of the best sides going head-to-head in a tight battle on grand final morning. What more can you want? It's just starting to get a little bit dark at the moment. The clouds have started to roll in. I've just checked the bomb, and there's 50% chance of 0 mils. So take of that what you will. But
all it means is it's half likely to rain and half likely to not rain. That's very zen. That's zen meteorology.
Well, all we know at the moment, it isn't raining, but the clouds are starting to roll in. So what havoc might that play throughout the rest of the afternoon? Irrespective, we've got a huge crowd built. It's getting vocal. And we are underway in the second half of the QFAW TPIL Lawyers Division 2 Central Grand Final. There's a little shove out there, a little bit of sloppy work as Mount Gravatt will get the first true possession of the second half.
Moving forward, brilliant mark going back, that will be paid. Knew the player was coming. And Sienna Holland showed anything but Dutch courage. See what I did there? Wrong time to play on. Superb tackle. Ashley Condon, she can score goals and she can win turnovers.
Yeah, I touched on it before. The tackle pressure's lifted, and Mount Gravatt have started with that in mind. So, brilliant tackle there as Jindalee was sort of looking to go clear straight through the corridor as Mount Gravatt now go on the attack, and strong mark there paid. We're going to be Brown again. She's just starting to get a little bit dangerous at the moment, Amelia Brown. So she goes long, over the back, finds Carmody, I think it is.
Correct.
Who's also in a bit of form at the moment. Her pressure acts in that last quarter up here on this wing was outstanding, and she's got an opportunity now to kick home from about 35 metres out. Strikes it pretty well off the boot. The team barely look at the footy sail over their heads. They just begin to celebrate. And Georgia Carmody gets Mount Gravatt off to the absolute perfect start of this second half.
One, Georgia Carmody has a long boot. I told you so, which by purely the fact that I've seen it because I was commentating game she was in. Secondly, Mount Gravatt, now I love the way that they've been trying to play expansive football and go wide, and I think Matthew McNaughton's been showing a really good game plan today. However, at the moment, Route 1 is what's working. It's what led to the goal to Condon in the second quarter. That's what led to that goal. They are winning the contested ball, so why not use it while you're on the roll? So Jindalee with work to do. The advantage for them is they know they can do it because they did it a fortnight ago. Running out of midfield is Talia Butcher, who's had some good moments today. Jindalee moving forward, they want a quick reply. Is it crucial? Probably not. There's always time. As Latran thought she was running away with the ball, but there was a reason the ball was free. Another player was held back, that being Hayley Robinson. Robinson looks for the short target. Not picked up at all. Mark it right half forward. Moving centrally, Robinson! Didn't quite hold it for long enough. I'm happy with that call, not that anyone needs my approval. Knocked out the side, that'll be a 10-metre throw, 10-metre ball up. It's not, it hasn't gone out. Jindalee through Eade. Not quite able to pick it up. Eade with a strong tackle, but late. Not that she would have known. Mount Gravatt with a free kick in their back pocket. As in the back pocket on the field, not in, yeah.
No, pockets are illegal on footy shorts. Daniel, so
no, they're illegal. Okay.
We'll keep on. So Drewbury sends it long. She's been busy as well this game. Renner spills the mark, so it comes out the back. A little junk, quick kick by, I think it was Hamilton again. Sends his ball out on the full. So it'll be brought back into play by Ewington. Not a lot of movement up the ground. No leads at all presenting at the moment, so she just holds play. Couple coming out now, but just elects to sort of prop this one up to the top of the 50. Spills out over the back as it's been picked up and collected by Bennett. So Bennett sends it long and high, and that one's well fisted away there again by Ewington, and this ball will trickle out over the boundary line for another ball up. So Jindalee just able to get a couple of repeat stoppages inside their forward 50 at the moment. They'll be hoping to hit the scoreboard here, because if they let Mount Gravatt get away too soon, then it will be a big tall ask to chase them down.
Jindalee maintaining the forward pressure, not able to hold on. Cleared by Renner, very central, looking for Nason, was well attacked. By Harding. They have found a way out. This time they are going wide, just away from the hands, and good pressure applied by Sienna Holland. Was able to get away from her opposite number. Inside 50, that's well read by Lily Carmody, just wasn't able to wrap the hands around it. Loses out to 2-on-1. Kat Bennett from about 30. Goes through for a minor score. Just on Kat Bennett, she's one of 4 players for Jindalee going for their 3rd premiership with the Jags. The others being Heidi Dewberry, Tay Eade and Hayley Robinson. Some of them, there's some very... This side stayed together for many years, this Jindalee side.
So Renner elects to play on, takes some grass, and is going to send this one long outside 50. So clears the ball out of danger. It's a 2-on-1 here at the foot of this, at the drop of this footy, as this ball just starts to spin out, but well collected there by Blore. So Blore sends long. A couple of Mount Gravatt players under the footy, and Renner is the one of the two that was there to take it. So just a little bit of composed play by Renner in the last few moments as well to settle that defensive unit from Mount Gravatt. Is a strong tackle there. Umpire says we'll have a ball up. Yes. Le Pontois.
Limperakis looked up and went, ugh. I think most of us would have. I'm technically taller than Kate Le Pontois, but I think I still would have gone, ugh. Collins clears. Keeps it wide. Good work to keep the feet from Brown. Carmody is ahead. Finds a flat piece of ground. Has a couple of bounces. Draws the defender a metre earlier, and that would have been perfect. The idea was fine. Knocked it out. That was definitely a throw. Jindalee with a free kick. Bit of push and shove. But I think Jindalee, when the smoke clears, can take a bit of pride in how they defended that, and particularly Gemma Higgins.
Yeah, it's always a challenging decision to make when you're on the defender running back towards goal and you've got someone charging toward you. Do you stay back and mark the player, or come up and effect the disposal? And chose to do the latter on that occasion, which certainly caused that turnover. So well done, Jindalee, to turn that one over, and just edging a little bit of territory back up the ground now. So if they can get a clearance here and surge forward, as Drewbury goes to do the hard work in and under there, spills it out. Mount Gravatt pick it up again. Collins goes and roves a bit of her own work as she gets taken out over the boundary line. The umpire will say, let's ball it up. And the rain starts to trickle in now, Daniel. So the 50% chance of no Mills has landed the way of precipitation. So the crowd will start to scramble here.
They are indeed. There's a big migration up the hill. It's like the opposite of lemmings. Well knocked back inside. Pumped forward, I believe, from Bennett. Happy to be corrected. And a good mark in the wet taken by Hayley Robinson. As Mitch consults the Bureau of Meteorology, he's got a direct line. Lily Carmody sees it fall out of her reach. Well done at the back from... That was Gabby Doble. Was just brought down as she mid-ball drop.
That can help, Manny!
There's a very small blip of rain on this radar, Daniel, so I suspect that this will be a fleeting shower. As I thought there might have been some thunder rumbling in the background, but of course we are under the Brisbane Airport flight path here, so that is just a jet heading off somewhere across the country today. So as we tick through probably about halfway this third term, Mount Gravatt certainly sort of on top at the moment as they look to get this ball out. A little bit of rain on this footy is certainly going to make the brand new grand final Sharon a little bit slippery, so expect to see a little bit of attrition along the ground. Oh, big strong tackle there. Rose Collins has certainly picked up in the last few moments as well, as Brown goes long to Carmody. Carmody takes a strong mark. She's got a player streaming out towards the goal square, says no, just settle, let's not rush.
Georgia Carmody can drop punt this. She needs to believe in herself.
And I think we were probably pretty critical of the rush, or how quickly they tried to move the ball on. So just taking the mark and the time to settle. She struck it pretty well, just drifts off to the right-hand side. and ever so slightly increases their lead.
You said earlier in a very different context that behinds could be important today. The gap between these two teams is closed. It was 53-13 to Mount Gravatt over Jindalee way back in early June. Then they only won by 9 in round 14 in the 17-round season. And then it was Jindalee by 14 a fortnight ago. Been impressed with Harding today. That's yet another little, just a tick next to her name on the judges for the Best on Ground award. Although I think every player on this field would trade that, including Janaea Vidler. Just heads towards the pocket. Carmody gets an awful bounce, or is it a good bounce? Inside. Gets the handball to Limperakis. Limperakis' shot is way off to the right. If anything, I think the handling's improved since the rain came, possibly because the players have actually been thinking, well, we need to take our time in the wet, so they're concentrating more than they were in the dry.
Yeah, it is funny that you do often see. Sometimes it hones the senses a little bit and it brings a little bit more focus to the playing group. So, but it looks like it's largely blown through us now already. So as the sun just begins to poke back through the clouds here, in what is a picturesque afternoon, or morning still, sorry, for the grand finals here at Hickey Park today. So as we continue off forward, Drewbury again with a footy. She gets dragged down off the ball. Umpire says fair game, and it will be a ball up.
You can see what Dewberry brings to this Jindalee side. She's a strong player, has speed that maybe you wouldn't expect, and fairly good handling skills compared with what we've seen on show today. That didn't quite come out the way I meant it, but for this standard of football, her handling is very good.
Yeah, she's an absolute classy midfielder. So, yeah, clever bit of work there by Rigger. She escapes a couple and earns herself a free kick. So, just evaded one, evaded two, got the hand pass away, and just a little bit too much treatment. So,
I just realised I've been mixing up Rigger and Nason a bit today, so apologies to both families.
Well, both with plenty of the football today. So,
good save.
The ball now just bounces off the centre-half back line. So, into the true centre of the ground it goes. As Sides picks that up one-handed. Clever bit of work there. As she runs out the far side, a little bit of takes on a bounce. Dangerous as she's corralled. Sends the ball long inside forward 50, and it's well marked there by Alexis Hamilton. Again, flying back with the flight of the footy. I think that's the third or fourth time we've seen her do that today. Absolutely beautiful read on that football. She's probably a little bit too far out to score. She just looks around. She's going to have to kick from about 35, 40 metres. You suspect she goes around to improve the angle in the distance a little bit. Just right on the measure. The ball just little spins on the ground. So Jindalee got the opportunity. They've got one spare and they kick through. No, they don't. I thought Taeed was going to slot that one, but she just pulls it to the left-hand side for a minor score.
I think she did too, but enterprising play. And again, as the rain, just feeling we're under a tin roof here, which is probably the best weather system. It's an Australian standard weather system, is the tin roof. But generally showing they have a right to believe. Renner picks out a target. The kickouts have improved for the Vultures. Caitlin Renner through the middle. Turned over. There was pressure on the kick and it yielded a result as Kat Bennett, one of the players going for her third premiership as a Jag. The club of Nat Grider, she seems to be the favourite daughter of the Jindalee Jags. Had it up forward, Lexi Hamilton, unable to get hands on it. Knocked away by Gabby Doble. In front of the possum-infested scoreboard. They are famous at Hickey Park, the Possums. Mount Gravatt clear outside, 50, turned over by Bloor.
So the skipper just assesses the options up long, looks to switch over to this left-hand side of the ground. So the ball spills down, it's picked up, strong tackle there, but it just looks like it slipped up over the shoulder. The umpire right on the spot. There's a few jeers from the crowd. Certainly Mount Gravatt's way not in favour of that free kick, but Wheelhouse has the footy, kicks it right on the arc, sends it long to the hot spot. Can anyone mark it? They can't. So the ball drops down. Who's at the drop of this footy? As the rain picks up again, it's just going to make things a little bit sloppy, I think, which this all-important lead at the moment of Mount Gravatt's putting scores on the board when it's dry might pay dividends here throughout the latter stages of this game. As there's a few players begin to look just a little bit tired as we head towards three-quarter time. There's certainly been a real level of physicality and contested presence around the ball mixed with a fair bit of open play and quick play as well. So the players both physically and aerobically drained at the minute.
Can I just praise the slips catch from Cassie Quinn on that occasion? That was kicked off the boot straight into the midriff, and she caught it extremely well. Frankie Irwin just fumbling. All fumbles forgivable. And Mitch, you make an excellent point about if you see Wayne on the weather report, good grief, Daniel, then getting the lead early, making sure, okay, if we're going to make our move, do it now. Loose ball. Collins was heading towards it, saw Renner the other way, and in the end they all left it for each other. A little bit too much teamwork. Jindalee with an opportunity. Held off the ball. I believe it's Holdsworth, happy to be corrected. Indy Holdsworth, 28 goals this year, number 2 in the competition. Let's find out her range.
Well, coach is her dad, Daniel, so he'll be hoping that everything he's taught her over the journey culminates in a goal here, and they desperately need it. Strikes it pretty well. Will it be touched on the line? It will. In fact, the ball doesn't go over the line and it stays in play.
That was Renner's fist that got it away from the line.
So now Gravatt rush it out only as far as Harding. So Harding goes forward. Just trying to urge this one back into their forward 50 is Jindalee. And they manage to get a bit of a clearance now, but this rain just making that ball like soap and begins to make things very difficult as the numbers converge on this footy. I suspect we'll have a ball up.
Apart from watching this match on the official AFLQ YouTube channel, and thanks for your company, follow High Flyer Images. Their images will be used by AFL Queensland on social media pages, but follow High Flyer Images anyway, and you'll see lots of shots from all 4 grand finals today. Was put inside by Gemma Higgins. Just the 1 goal in the 3rd term, but it was Mount Gravatt. They made it count. That goal to Georgia Carmody, 3-5-23, leading Jindalee 1-3-9. The heavens have opened. Maybe that blip on the weather radar is a little bit larger than we thought it would be. Join us for the 4th quarter of the 2025 TPIL Lawyers QFAW Division 2 Central Grand Final.
You need a strong team. At TPIL Lawyers, we rise above the pack. When it comes to your total and permanent disability and compensation claims, choose TPIL, the personal injury lawyers. Kicking goals for Queenslanders since 1983. TPIL Lawyers, proud partner of AFL Queensland.
AFL 9s, it's footy for best mates looking to be teammates.
Cardio fiends after a bit of competition.
Legends of the game. Looking at making a comeback.
There's footy for when your week's pretty cooked. Or for fitting it in between classes.
It's footy!
It's footy.
It's footy.
It's footy for me.
As things stand, 1/4 stands between Mount Gravatt and a first ever women's premiership at any level. Mitch Simpson's currently doing the AFL Queensland part of his job. He'll be back shortly. My name's Daniel Viles. I did play for Mount Gravatt 1 year, but I was bullied by my own team, and it was a horrible experience, so I'm not going to be biased towards Mount Gravatt. What I can say is the club that's at Dittmer Park now is a very different one from the one that I endured back in 19... Mount Gravatt moving forward and finding a way through the captain, Naomi Leach, has been excellent today. Turned over, Gemma Higgins. And some very good defensive work out wide today. Knocked sideways by Dewberry, who had an excellent second quarter. Couldn't get the left boot to the ball on that occasion, but they have it inside 50. Comes back to Harding. Turned over Renner. Renner's grown into this game. The more that Jindalee's had ball in the forward 50, the more she's grown into it. The commentator's curse means that the free kick is won by Holdsworth for a strong tackle on the Kedron Brooks side of the ground. Didn't quite connect. Turned over by Leach. Looks wide. And probably now that Mount Gravatt have the lead in the wet, they will be looking to move wide a lot more often. Goes back to Bloor. Had it knocked out of her hands. Play allowed to continue, quite rightly. Just to give them a second mention, field umpires today, Bruce Cruikshank and Lincoln McAllister. On the boundary, Rosie Pedley and Eliza Costello. In goal, George Rodas and Amber Taylor. All proudly supported by Bradnam's Windows and Doors, as they have been for many years now in AFL Queensland. At QFAW level, at QFAW level. Turned around well by Sienna Holland. Lily Carmody battling hard out wide with Ainsley Carroll. Began off the bench today, but versatile player Ainsley Carroll. Squeezed out. And a strong tackle as Ruby Dry is tossed away. Not quite taken overhead by Kemp. And again, that tackling, well, it's yielded a free kick. I think it looked more spectacular than it was. Jindalee with the free kick on the left wing, southern side of Hickey Park. Well attacked by Jordan Ward, just slipped through the mitts. As Mitch Simpson alluded to earlier, they do get specially printed Sherrins for these grand final matches, so it's a new ball. There won't be a lot of grip in it in the wet. Bennett goes centrally, lands in a bit of mud. Not knocked forward, it was well run onto by Evie Witts, co-captain. Goes forward, Carmody has an acre of space in front of her. She elects to shoot from 40. It's well offline, she gets a magic bounce, which she didn't. Lead out to 15 points. And given the conditions and given Carmody's skill set, I think shooting from 45 was probably the right thing to do.
Head it down there, Melanie!
Bit of time lost. Ball goes out the back. This is not time taken off the clock, thank goodness. Mount Gravatt stringing some passes together. Not able to be held on. Camped inside the forward 50, which will be plan A. Carmody looking for some space, looking for a handball. Got the handball back. Tackled off the ball. Was strong work from Olivia Marr. Not quite able to clear 50 strongly yet. Back inside. The shot could be on. Rose Collins had it knocked from her grasp. Still there. The opportunity for Ruby Mann. Trickling forward towards the pocket. Knocked sideways. It'll just end up being a behind as Mitch Simpson returns to one of the 5 jobs that he has to do today.
Yes, just working on a few little alternative plans with this rain coming in. Of course, plenty of moving parts on grand final day, but we're locked in now, so probably about 10 minutes to go. We've got Mount Gravatt with all the possession of this quarter parked in their forward 50. And you'd suspect from here, Jindalee have got to kick 3 to get back ahead. It's a tall ask for the Jags, particularly now this weather's set in. So if you're Jindalee, the ball's going to have to be pretty much get and go. The time will evaporate from the clock very quickly. There's a clever bit of work there. Clean work by Nason. She's been very good today.
We've lost the Pythagoras scoreline. It was 3 squared against 5 squared for a moment there. How do you score 4 squared on a football field, Mitch? Question was drawn, Your Honour. Jindalee, they're going to need to string some passes together. And Rose Collins is on the wrong side. Oh, Jordan Ward just appealing for something. I thought she might have been injured for a moment. Thank goodness that's not the case. But very difficult to string passes together against this Mount Gravatt side in 2025 at the best of times. Important contest. Wheelhouse underneath it. Kept her feet. So did Cassandra Quinn. Quinn's able to return it. Knocked away. Good defensive work from Lapontois. Followed through by War. The handball was hot. Nearly cut off by Ma. Not able to be done completely. Holland squeezes it wide looking for Dewberry, who's had an excellent second half, as I said earlier. Knocked forward. That's Nason. Well cleaned up. Jindalee need to make this counter count.
And they probably won't here because it's Mount Gravatt at the drop of this footy, although the Collins mark is spilt. So good bit of bodywork there. Well done. Just held on to. Looks like it might be a free kick, not paid there the way of Quinn. So the ball continues just to trickle up towards halfway. Jindalee's brought that in. Ball gets bumped out, however, it's smothered off the kick from Quinn. And we'll have a ball up in true centre wing position right in front of the commentary box here. The crowd has retreated. There is an absolute throng of people here at Hickey Park, but the downpour has seen everyone retreat up onto the bar. So no doubt there's a few extra sails being ticked over at the moment. Canteen and bar, but Bennett, big strong hit. How's the umpire seen this one?
Called it illegal. The outer zone umpire has spotted a hit. I didn't see the signal to see whether it was possibly in the back, actually, now that I look at it. So the call's been made.
So Ward's got the footy. Long booming kick down towards Brown. She doesn't mark it. Carmody again with that footy. Gee, she'll be amongst the votes for the best on ground today, one would suspect. As it continues to bobble around inside forward 50 for Mount Gravatt. They've got a chance here. They've got a spare out. Can they get there? They can't. It's well mopped up there in the back forward. And the back line from Robinson. As we're tongue-tied late in this quarter. Clever kick. Thought it might have been just towards the top of the square, but my eyes deceive me. That one has gone out of bounds on the full.
Yeah, the parallax error got me there as well, Mitch. For one moment. Have I stuffed up that on this ground before? Yes, I have, Mitch. Thank you for not asking. So Jindalee scoring 3 straight kicks when you've only got one by three-quarter time. Of course, it has happened. And if you want to produce a bit of magic, do it on grand final day. But at the moment, they're having trouble stringing 2 passes together to get outside of 50. Mount Gravatt cutting everything off. Beautifully swept upon by Limperakis. Not able to make it count. Jindalee with another opportunity, but the only player within QE of the ball, believe it's Latran. And the ball manages to circumnavigate players. War finds Collins, who's been brilliant at winning the ball and distributing it from midfield today. Got the kick away. That'll be paid downfield, I believe, and Brown's the one who will have the set shot. And I think Matthew McNaughton may have got hold of the script and written it there.
So 8.5 minutes gone. You'd think a goal here to Brown would just about seal the victory for the Vultures. They were the dominant side all year. They've come the hard way after Jindalee knocked them off in the qualifying final 2 weeks ago. It's not the nail in the coffin just yet, but that lead creeps up ever so slightly.
Well, it's 3 goals now. So effectively a fourth time. They've just made... Well, is that the decisive point? There's an argument.
So Jindalee on the rebound. They've got a 3-on-2 here. They'll need to get a couple of quick clearances. Probably need a score within the next minute here to give themselves a chance. But it's all Mount Gravatt at the drop of this footy. You suspect Mount Gravatt are running just with a little bit more adrenaline in their veins at the moment as they can sniff a premiership. As the ball just bounces around, a little bit sloppy again. This rain just creating havoc for both forward and defensive units as it's well cleared out there by Bennett, I think it was. So the ball's come up to the forward 50. It's sort of just been parked in this little region of the ground for some time now, and we'll have another ball up on the true half-forward flank As the two rucks battle, they've been great, these two rucks combination today. Both outstanding.
Jordan Moore and Kate Lebonsoir, yeah.
Yeah, they've certainly showed a true battle of old school rucking to two very good competitors. So, but the ball has largely been won by Mount Gravatt once it has got to ground level today, and that's been a big difference with the likes of Carmody, Nason, and Limperakis, I think was one of the other ones who's been good today.
Yeah, Rigger, I'd throw in there.
Naomi Leach was instrumental in that second term as well, which really turned the tide. It was that second quarter where Mount Gravatt began to build, and that was right on the back of the captain Leach putting the Vultures on her shoulders and saying, let's go win a flag, ladies. So as it rolls out now to the far side in front of their heritage listed scoreboard, it is a beautiful feature here at Hickey Park. Obviously in the digital age now, no longer in use, but it's a pretty picture here of the historic Hickey Park, and I said it a few times today, but an absolute picturesque venue for today's grand finals.
And an important one in South East Queensland Aussie Rules history, because not the dominant sport in this part of the world, and the Wilston Grange Club is by far from the only club. It's, when I'm at the other clubs I praise them too, but we're at Wilston Grange right now, and they've been a very important club in this part of the world. AFLW matches have been played here, of course. There was a time a few years ago where I sat on the hill and watched Bree Conan made a goal-saving tackle in the goal square to our right. Not important to the players right now. Somehow, on her feet was Cassie Quinn, and her opponent wasn't. I think it was just a tangle of feet. Well charged onto. The tackling is strong from Higgins. It's holding the ball. Well done from Higgins.
So Higgins goes straight up the corridor, needs to go the fastest way to home, but doesn't find a target. Couple of jags at the drop of this footy, but it's going to be wrapped up there. Collins sends it up the ground. It's Jindalee well set up behind the footy, but it's not where they need to be. They need to get this footy up ahead. So they just can't quite get a clean possession at the moment as Collins goes in and applies plenty of pressure. Part of the integral leadership group is Collins. She's been outstanding this morning as well. So the umpire pays, I think, what might be a dangerous tackle there, or just holding the player off the ball. So Lepentoire's got to go quickly. There's no one really leading. I think the Jags are a little bit defeated at the moment. They're going to have to kick 3 goals in as many minutes to steal this one back. There's a strong bit of physical contest, and here they go. Can the Jags get one to kickstart an almighty comeback as the Vultures flock in and clear this one out? It's a well taken kick out of the half back line, and a strong mark taken by Limperakis as she goes wide. Clever little bit of work, just showing a bit of space there, Nason, as she sends it up again. And as the clock ticks away, the energy just starts to go out of it for Jindalee. It's been a very, very physical and hard-running game of football today. Entertaining, to sum it up in one word, Daniel. It's been an absolute ripping morning to kickstart what is a huge day here at Hickey Park. We've got UQ and Springwood going head-to-head in the QFAW Heartsport Cup Division 1 Reserves up next. Main and Springwood in the Heartsport Cup Senior match. And then, of course, later this evening, 2 powerhouses of women's football, Broadbeach and Sandgate, going head-to-head in the TPI Lawyers QFAW Division 1 Grand Final at 5:30.
Rose Collins, been a lot of different places today, draws the free kick, and is in a hurry to take it. She spots an opportunity. She wants a full stop. Handball to the invisible player. Jordan War, another outstanding player today, goes forward, and it's caught by Ashley Condon just outside the 50. It's a 2-on-none. They just need to pick it up. The goal is scored by Olivia Nason. Mount Gravatt is going to win its first women's premiership. And it's probably an appropriate time to mention the legend that is Kate Guy. A legend at the Mount Gravatt Footy Club and a legend in Queensland women's footy. Got things going long before it was cool. AFLW playing in front of 3,000 people all the time. Not when Kate Guy started working at it. And her club is about to have its moment. Division 2 Central. Still a couple of minutes left. Big day for Mount Gravatt. I'll switch over to Mitch Simpson to take it. It's Mount Gravatt's day! Jindalee put up a brave performance, but Mount Gravatt are the TPIL Lawyers QFAW Division 2 Central Premiers for 2025. There were heroes all over the park as the Mount Gravatt Club song to the tune of Along the Road to Gundagai streams out across Hickey Park. Hannah Wheelhouse scored the first goal of the match for the Jindalee Jags. That was in the 4th minute. That was matched by Amelia Brown in the 10th minute of the first term. They took their time in the second term, Mount Gravatt, had to withstand a lot of pressure, but it was Ashley Condon who scored their second goal. Georgia Carmody hit early in the 3rd, and then the rain came and the lead became even more advantageous than it already was. And Olivia Nason just a minute ago. Rose Collins in the midfield saw an opportunity, saw that the Jindalee defence had pushed up, as they should have. Exploited the space behind the back, and Olivia Nason will have a moment that she can show everyone. Your social media feed will be flooded with Mount Gravatt images for the rest of the day. Plenty of heroes for Jindalee today. They were outstanding. Kate Lepontoire in the ruck held her own against Jordan Waugh, and also work around the ground. Alexis Hamilton up forward. She is clearly a talented forward target, and particularly in the first half, she was picked out time after time. She'll have better days than this, Lexi Hamilton.
I'd like to invite all of our spectators and supporters to join us.
Hayley Robinson was good both in attack and defence. Riley Bloor, the captain. Dana Sides in defence. Diffused so many goals during the match. Aaliyah Harding, possibly Aaliyah Harding, apologies. There's a good runner down the wing. Thank you to our umpires. They didn't determine the result, they simply controlled the match. Well done. For Mount Gravatt, Rose Collins showed her class in the middle of the field. The amount of ball that she won today and distributed. And then to get turnover ball as well. Brilliant performance. Caitlin Renner, particularly in that 3rd quarter, was outstanding in defence. There were periods in this match when Jindalee had all the forward pressure, and there were different players who diffused those. Naomi Leach got a lot of turnover ball. Jordan Waugh was playing ruck and fullback at one point. But Caitlin Renner in that 3rd quarter was definitely someone who can take her share of the credit for today's victory. Olivia Nason and Nina Rigger, both exceptional at winning turnover ball. Nina Rigger early and had some moments late in the match as well. Nason absolutely deserved her goal late. Forget whether I've already mentioned Naomi Leach, the captain. I mean, first of all, congratulations. And secondly, played a brilliant role in today's win. Again, lots of turnover ball, but also good vision with her passing, Naomi Leach. Amelia Brown, just as Lexi Hamilton was for the Jindalee Jags. So Mount Gravatt players just to our right, celebrating with their fans. A lot of Mount Gravatt fans here today had printed out fairly large photos of the players that to whom they're connected. So a lot of players will be looking back at themselves. And the crowd has been vocal today. They kept being vocal in the second half. The players could hear it. It was just further away from our microphones, so maybe it didn't come through as much. No 3 premiership heroes for Jindalee today. They are gathering in front of the stage, Jindalee, so they're doing the right thing by respecting the moment. Mount Gravatt will make their way over. Clearly plenty of respect between these sides. Very shortly we'll go down to Mitch Simpson for the presentation. Best on ground will be named. Medals will be handed out. This matters. Division 2 Central. Some people talk it down. I'm not one of them. Mitch Simpson isn't one of them. This is real footy. Jordan Waugh getting hugs from her daughter. The weather played a role in today's match. It was part of the story, but it wasn't the decisive factor. And Mount Gravatt, been playing in the QFAW, had a couple of stints in Division 1. They've won a Division 2 premiership. It's a big day for the Vultures. Jindalee, they'll be back. They're too good a club not to be back. Let's go down to Mitch Simpson.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the official presentation ceremony of the QFAW Division 2 Central TPIL Lawyers Grand Final. Firstly, in pretty trying conditions, the two best sides just slogged it out for an hour, so how about a big round of applause for both teams? Absolutely outstanding. I'd like to welcome up on stage to assist with presentations today AFL Queensland's talent manager, Mr. Mark Browning, who will be presenting today's medals. Firstly, I would like to take the opportunity to acknowledge and thank our umpires for today. Just like playing in a grand final, it is a huge achievement to be appointed to an umpiring position as well. And on behalf of AFL Queensland, we do want to thank Bradman's Windows and Doors as our statewide umpiring partner. So to receive their grand final medals, our field umpires Lincoln McAllister and Bruce Brickshank. Our boundary umpires Eliza Costello and Rosie Pedley. And our goal umpires Amber Taylor and George Rodas. Well done again to our umpires, not just today but throughout the entire year as well. It is now time to announce today's best on ground in today's grand final, and it gives me great pleasure to announce that the grand final best on ground from the Mount Gravatt Football Club is number 2, Rose Collins. Well done, Rose. Whilst it is always exciting on grand final day, unfortunately there's always a runner-up, but on behalf of the Jags, I'd like to call forward head coach Daniel Holsworth to say a few words on behalf of the runners-up.
I've been given the word that I need to shorten up my speech a bit. Okay, first of all, AFL, Hugh, Mitch, Bally and Emma, thank you very much for the season, all your support, put on a great show this year. TPIL Lawyers, thank you for your support. To all our umpires today, thank you very much, you did a good job. And to all our clubbies throughout the year, thank you, because without your umpires we don't have a game, and like I said last year, bring a mate to training, so we need more umpies. All the volunteers here at Grange, thank you for putting on a great day. There's always people behind the scenes that work hard all day, and you've got a big day ahead, so thank you. To our sponsors, quickly, C&W, Electrical Archfield, Harry and the boys, BC Electrical, thanks Benny, Living Property with Martin, Technical Air Conditioning, Bingo Bings, thank you for your support. It's really good to have those sponsors for our girls and their awards each week. All Sports Physio, thank you, and Viraj, thanks mate for coming out today. Sorry I didn't get up for you, but yeah. Going good. To Matt and the Mount Gravatt ladies, look, you were the form team all year. You really gave us something to chase. You know, you give us a fair belting early on, and we hadn't had a loss like that for 2 years. So we got going, we got moving, we got close to our ladies' day. I might have snuck past you in the first final to book a first spot, but we either poked the bear or maybe. But you girls come out firing today, and look, it's well deserved. You're a great bunch of ladies, and just enjoy this day. It's really special. Sorry. All the Jags committee, Rutchie, Jason, Billy, thank you for your ongoing support. All our Jags family at Army, thank you for supporting us. It's good to see all those colours up there, so thank you. Tommy Headwood and the senior man, thank you for your support throughout the year. A lot of senior men down today support us, so thank you. Mumphy and the Kenmore girls have come across. Look, we've been buggered without you, so thank you, and I hope you really enjoyed your season with us, so well done. Nearly there. To my coaching staff, can't do this without you guys. Pooley, Dee, Stoney and Dad, thank you very much for all your support. To our players that missed out today, Erin, Alice, heartbreak for Alice, day of knee, before the end of the season. Bridget, Luce, Ash, Ros, Sarah and Yasmin, thank you for coming out today and supporting us. To my partner Courtney, thank you for your support throughout the year. It's a long year and I'm away from home a lot. And to my girls, our girls, thank you. You fucking rock. Sorry. You make us coaches proud every day. Treat each one of you like my own daughter, and you just give us so much, and I'm proud of your efforts, and thank you. And we'll get back and we'll celebrate tonight. So thank you.
Well done, Dan. Right, we're Premiership coach now, and it is a great pleasure to invite Vultures head coach Matthew McLaughlin up to the stage to receive his Premiership medallion and say a few words.
I know what Dan feels like, don't worry. Thanks for AFLQ, obviously putting on a great day as you do with these occasions and all the way through the finals. It's always well organised, and obviously the events like this just don't come together, so all the volunteers that turned up from Wilston Grange and things like that to put this on is amazing, so thank you. TPI lawyers, obviously thank you for sponsoring the league because it makes our life look a lot better. Sorry, I'm just getting my notes because I'm not as organised and didn't write them down, so I've got them on here. What's the coach? B&R Mechanical. Ben, thanks for sponsoring the girls. Thanks to all the Vulture crew that have come down today, plus throughout the whole year. We love your support, so thank you. It means a lot. To Bill, part of the women's team basically too, mate. So thank you for all the work that you've done. To our coaches, Alex, Ben for helping, so thanks very much. Our superstar manager, Joy. It's been amazing, the journey for the last couple of years, so we really enjoyed that. Jindalee, you've been tough to play. We knew that was going to be coming into this competition. We hadn't played you before, but we knew, we heard. You're very successful the last 2 years and, hard to beat. And each game was tough, and you played it tough, and today you played it tough, and we were lucky on the day and we got the biscuits, but other than that, you should be proud. And your coach, Dan, is an amazing bloke, doing a great job, and thanks, Dan. It's been a good competition. Don't look at me. To all our players that didn't actually get to take the field today, we didn't get here without you. It's, I'm right. Without all of you, we don't have a team. So, there's girls that are injured, girls that are, go away and do the things that female footy do. But it takes a whole group of us to win this. And throughout the year, we had enough fill-ins to make sure that we got through. So I appreciate that. And all of you girls that played today, amazing. You got no idea how proud I am of you. Nothing, we're just trying to get through this. But, you bloody did it. It's been, we said in November when we started pre-season, went to camping, what was that, February? We're going to win this thing, we're putting in, all right? And you did all year. It was a long year, but you put in at every training session, and I'm so proud of you. So thank you very much.
It's now time to present our premiers with their premiership medallions. So in number order, the Mighty Vultures, starting with number 1, Aislinn Latran. Number 2 in today's best on-ground, Rose Collins. Number 4, Ruby Man. Number 6, Lily Carmody. Number 8, Caitlin Renner. Number 10, Gabby Doble. Number 11, Cassandra Quinn. Number 12, Francesca Irwin. Number 13, Olivia Nason. Number 14, Janae Vidler. Number 15, Tiana Limperakis. Number 16, Ruby Dry. Number 19, Georgia Carmody. Number 20, Jordan War. Number 21, Megan Turnbull. Number 23, Ashley Condon. Number 24, Romany Ewington. Number 25, Amelia Brown. Number 28, Shay Gordon. Number 31, Nina Rigor. And lastly, number 18, your premiership captain, Naomi Lee. It is, I'll ask Naomi to stay on stage and I'll invite back up premiership coach Matt McNaughton, and I'll ask Mark to grab the premiership cup as we officially crown the QFAW Division 2 Central TPIL Lawyers Premiers, the Mount Gravatt Vultures.
That's for the next game. Mount Gravatt Vultures defeating the Jindalee Jags by 24 points. Rose Collins named best on ground. It is Mount Gravatt's first women's premiership. You may have heard a bit of silence during the ceremony. That was when Tay Eade of Jindalee said that Daniel Holdsworth was having his last season as coach of Jindalee, so she paid special tribute to him. You may not have heard it on the mic, but it was heartfelt. On behalf of Mitch Simpson and AFL Queensland, thank you very much for joining us here today. If you are anywhere near Hickey Park, come down to the ground. 3 more grand finals today. Next is University of Queensland versus Springwood in the men's QFA Division 1 Hart Sports Cup Reserve Grade. But my name is Daniel Viles, and on behalf of everyone here, thank you for joining us today. Stay on the official AFLQ YouTube channel for more grand finals here from Hickey Park.